violent outbursts, blatant homophobia, and killing pets. These reality stars are even worse than the camera makes them out to be. Some reality stars play it up for the cameras, while others are truly authentic. Off-camera, Mob Wives star Drita D'avanzo is reportedly very similar to the hothead she showed us on the VH1 hit show. The outspoken mob wife delivered memorable scenes that included catchy taglines and jaw-dropping brawls with her co-stars.
Natalie, I trust no one.
D'avanzo proved herself as one tough cookie that never backed down from a fight. In 2016, she displayed the same behavior off-camera. TMZ leaked a video of D'avanzo and her husband Lee angrily confronting a neighbor in Staten Island. The argument over a parking spot quickly turned physical when D'avanzo approached her and began swinging. Following the altercation, the neighbor needed medical attention for a minor concussion. D'avanzo was later arrested for misdemeanor assault, but the charges were dropped after her neighbor refused to cooperate, TMZ reports. Just because that neighbor didn't rat to the police, however, doesn't mean others weren't talking about the D'avanzos. In 2020, ABC7 reported that the D'avanzos' home was raided by the police after receiving tips from those living in the neighborhood. During the raid, cops reportedly found loaded firearms and guns on their property. According to the New York Daily News, Lee later pleaded guilty to the federal gun charges and was sentenced to 5 years in prison. An emotional D'avanzo broke down in tears outside the courtroom. Bachelor Nation was shocked in 2020 when Chad Johnson made the news. Though he was the villain during his appearance on The Bachelorette, fans were shocked by his arrest. The reality star was arrested and charged with felony domestic violence and robbery. His then-girlfriend, Annalise Mishler, told police that Johnson was drunk and assaulted her while at her apartment. Mishler also backed up her claims by posting videos of the incident on her Instagram. She documented the hole he punched in her wall and the threats he screamed at her. At one point in the videos, Johnson could be heard yelling death wishes at her as he banged on her door. Mishler claimed the incident started when she confronted him about dating app notifications she found on his phone. After his arrest, she took to Instagram and thanked fans for their support, assuring them that the violent events of the morning were being addressed. In videos she's uploaded about her relationship with Johnson, Mishler has made it clear toxic confrontations were a mainstay of their relationship.
If I had a problem with something he did, it would be I'm starting all these fights. I'm nitpicking.
Following the incident and prior to his arrest, Johnson spoke with 2Fab. He denied ever getting physical with her, saying, "I don't remember actually seeing her. I drank to the point where I didn't even know I was with her. I just gotta take the Instagram story's word that I was there." Johnson blamed his emotional turmoil and alcohol relapse on the incident. As a teen mom OG, viewers have watched Amber Portwood's journey from her pregnancy at 16 into full-grown adulthood. Throughout that period, Portwood has faced plenty of bumps in the road and even some trouble with the law. In 2012, the reality star was sentenced to 5 years in prison for drug-related charges. Portwood only served 16 months out of her sentence before being released on parole, though her legal troubles continued in 2019. Portwood was arrested after assaulting her boyfriend while he was holding their child. The police report released by the Ashley's Reality Roundup alleged that Portwood threatened her boyfriend with a machete as he locked himself in a room with their child. She allegedly swallowed a handful of pills and threatened to kill herself during the ordeal. Fearing for the safety of himself and his child, Portwood's boyfriend contacted the police. Portwood denied using a machete and swallowing pills, but admitted to assaulting him while he was holding their child. This was not the first time she was charged with domestic violence. In 2010, the star was arrested after an altercation with ex-boyfriend Gary Shirley. When you enter the Big Brother house, you should be aware that Big Brother is always watching. Despite knowing that, Spencer Clawson made some eyebrow-raising comments during season 15. A mic'd-up Clawson made flippant remarks about consuming child pornography. The police in his hometown didn't find the jokes too funny and immediately launched an investigation. The local department told TMZ that they'd been made aware of Clawson's statements, but the investigations did not uncover evidence that he was guilty of anything. That wasn't the only controversy Clawson found himself part of during his Big Brother appearance. According to Reality Blurred, he also used homophobic slurs against a housemate, sexist slurs towards women, and even praised Adolf Hitler for his speaking abilities. The Huffington Post reports his behavior on the show didn't just anger viewers. His employer, Union Pacific, also spoke out, publicly condemning him. Upon leaving the Big Brother house, Clawson offered up an apology for his offensive comments.
I don't want to blame it on the social aspect of the game, right. Trying to just kind of tease and relate and joke to people, that kind of thing. But at the same time, I do apologize if I offended anybody.
The earliest example of the captivating style of reality television is the MTV staple The Real World. The series premiered in 1992 and showed the world what can occur when you bring various personalities together under one roof. With a format like that, it made room for storylines centering around conflict and the rise of fan favorites and villains. On The Real World San Francisco, there was one villain that some viewers will never forget. David "Puck" Rainey immediately rubbed viewers and his housemates the wrong way. He was notorious for his poor hygiene and his abrasive attitude toward others.
I don't use utensils ever. Your fingers make these cool shapes, you can kind of just...
Rainey repeatedly harassed housemate Pedro Zamora, who was the first person with AIDS to ever appear on reality television. In 1994, as misinformation about HIV and AIDS was rampant, Zamora's time in the house was made contentious. Puck harassed Zamora with homophobic slurs and ignorant comments about his illness. Zamora, who appeared on the show to raise awareness about HIV and AIDS, was left feeling uncomfortable and even debated leaving the show early. The cast soon rallied around him and decided that Rainey should be the one evicted due to his behavior. Unfortunately, Zamora died due to an AIDS-related illness just months after the season was filmed. After leaving the show, Rainey hasn't lived a controversy-free life. In 2012, he was sent to jail for stalking, and in 2013, he was arrested for domestic violence. The Jersey Shore cast was filled with many personalities, but none were as polarizing as Angelina Pivarnick. During the show's 6-season run, Pivarnick mostly bickered with the cast and had 2 dramatic exits from the show. While living in the Shore house, she struggled to make friends and found herself an outcast. Despite not being a fan favorite, many were confused about why Pivarnick was mostly disliked by the cast. In 2020, a story and field producer on the MTV hit series did a Reddit AMA to answer a few burning questions from fans. When asked about Pivarnick, the anonymous producer gave some insight into her behavior behind the scenes, calling her condescending and reflecting, "I do think she was bullied at times, but she brought a lot of it upon herself. How? She would routinely alienate herself from the others when there were no issues." The producer alleged that Pivarnick routinely lied to the cast about irrelevant things, which rubbed them the wrong way. The producer also admitted that Pivarnick didn't receive a favorable edit on the series, which might have been done intentionally. While they assured Reddit users she probably wasn't treated the worst by post-production, she was often disrespectful to crew members, which may have influenced her portrayal on the show. Netflix's Love is Blind gives contestants the opportunity to find love without focusing on physical attraction. The format of the show forces contestants to speed date without seeing the person they're talking to by putting a literal wall between them. Despite the clear premise of the show and its rules, in Season 2, Abhishek Chatterjee tried to work around it. During the blind speed dates in the pods, Chatterjee repeatedly asked women questions in an attempt to figure out their body type.
I love buying clothes for girls. Yeah, what's your size?
In his first date with Deepti Vempati, he even asked if he would be able to carry her in an effort to determine her weight. After proposing to Vempati and meeting her for the first time, Chatterjee spoke negatively about her behind her back. He told other castmates that he's not physically attracted to her and described her as an aunt. During the Season 2 reunion, instead of offering an apology, he doubled down on those comments and claimed the only woman he was attracted to was the host, Vanessa Lachey. A source revealed to Entertainment Tonight that viewers didn't see the worst of him during the reunion, saying, "What you're seeing in the reunion is a watered-down version. Shake wouldn't stop. He kept interrupting everyone, and when he said the only woman he was attracted to was Vanessa Lachey, the cast erupted." The source also revealed that many of the things people said in response to Shake's egregious comments were also edited out. Janelle Evans and David Eason are not exactly new to controversy. On Teen Mom 2, the couple fought constantly and even made headlines for their problematic social media posts. In 2019, a scandal erupted over the family dog. Evans first took to Instagram to share a photo and a heartbreaking caption about saying goodbye to her dog Nugget, writing, "Nugget, I'm crying every day. I love you so much and I'm so sorry. I'm speechless." According to TMZ, after Evans' ex-fiancé Nathan Griffith got word that Eason shot and killed Nugget, he phoned police and asked for a welfare check on the son they share together. After the outlet leaked the 911 call, the story of Eason shooting the dog went viral. Fans were outraged and demanded answers. In an interview with People, the couple explained they made the decision to kill Nugget after he bit their daughter.
It was a situation where, my daughter, her health, her safety was in danger.
Eason explained, "This was something that nobody wants to ever have to do. The dog was aggressive. Yes, she might not be huge or whatever, but when a dog bites a child on the face more than one time, then it should never be around the child again." Despite the reasoning, MTV briefly parted ways with the couple. In 2022, however, Evans returned to the franchise. Still, rumors continued to circulate around the couple. In fact, fans even suspected Eason killed their other dog after the pup went missing. TLC's 90 Day Fiancé reminds viewers that looking for love isn't easy. On the show, hopeless romantics work against the clock to walk down the aisle. However, one star had to face more than typical public scrutiny while he was on the show. Geoffrey Paschel appeared on the show during Season 4 of 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days in hopes of marrying his partner, Varya. Despite him finding love, his appearance on the show caused controversy after the blog Starcasm released court documents from his second divorce. In the divorce filings, Paschel's ex-wife made strong accusations against him, including sexual assault. As the story gained traction, fans created a petition to have him removed from the show. Paschel remained on the show, although he didn't appear on the Tell-All special. He responded to the snub on an Instagram Live, saying, "The mentality of keeping me off the Tell-All because somebody said something is the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life." In 2021, Paschel's past came back to haunt him again. He was charged and found guilty of kidnapping and assaulting his then-fiancée in 2019. The report alleged he viciously beat her and prevented her from leaving his apartment for hours. According to E! News, Paschel even confiscated her cell phone during the ordeal. His former fiancée waited until he fell asleep before escaping to a neighbor's house for help. In February 2022, the former reality star was sentenced to 18 years in prison without parole. Varya continues to support him as he appeals the conviction. If you or someone you know is dealing with domestic abuse, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. You can also find more information, resources, and support at their website.